Welcome to Palm Beach Tech. I'm Joe. Try this again. Hello. Hey guys. So welcome to the Palm Beach Tech Meetup. I'm glad everyone came out today. We have a wonderful little program. We're going to be hearing from Rachel Ford, who came all the way from Atlanta today to join us. I would say that she traveled farthest, but we had somebody come into space today from Madrid, Spain. So, you know, we're all international today. So thank you guys again. We're going to go through some pretty amazing companies today that you'll hear from. But, you know, just to tell you a little bit more about what we do, this is what happens when Google Slides do not go too well to the projector. But that's our handles. We're at Palm Beach Tech. I'm at Joseph R. Russo. If you find us on Twitter and Instagram and give us a shout out, we greatly appreciate it. And we would love for you to share the stories of some of the companies that you'll be hearing from today. So next slide. These are our sponsors. Palm Beach Tech and the Palm Beach Tech Meetup are made possible by the generous support of a number of companies in our industry. We have Digital Resource, who you'll be hearing from in just a little bit. Dedicated IT, the Nebula Agency. Ashley is right there from that, so if anybody needs any software development, go talk to her. KBL Media, of course, Kevin over there taking our photos. Everybody smile, wave. Quantivis, a health information technology company right here in downtown. Levitas, a digital agency based out of Palm Beach Gardens, who works with everyone from HSBC to Duffy's. The Achieve Agency, which we are the first floor of their second and third floor operation here. PGA of America, if anyone is a fan of golf, they have actually a pretty decent sized tech team. Merging Traffic, equity crowdfunding. They have a local operation and are also very much based out of Orlando and the University of Central Florida. Dial My Calls from Jupiter. ScriptSender, another great health IT company downtown here. My Taskit app, very big into the task sharing space. They are also here in downtown. Ackerman Law Firm, Aero Digital, the Silver Logic, again, some great software companies. Dasco Bolton Accountants, Red Pepper Group, which is a video firm that's actually doing some great work for us. And most importantly, the people who help keep our lights on at home. So next slide, and we're going to, of course, talk really briefly about why we're here. So Palm Beach Tech is building the Palm Beaches into a tech hub. That is our mission. We embody that mission in everything we do. Simply enough, you know, we are a membership association, and we are driven to support the members of Palm Beach Tech and the community at large. So what does that mean? If you're a tech company, we would love to have you as a member. We would love to support you with our resources, talent, PR, exposure, communications. Anything we could do to support individual companies, we love to do. Because as those companies grow, the industry grows, and we can better support our mission. These are a few of the companies that we have. Woo Creative, up at the top, that is, they were voted the coolest workspace of South Florida last year. They beat out Chewy. If anybody knows Chewy, they just sold for a couple $1 billion. So this 10-person operation beat out a $2 billion company. Pretty cool. And they're in Delray Beach. Of course, Florida Power and Light. They actually just a couple of years ago took out all of the cubicles. It was a giant cubicle farm, and they're like, wait, we need to get with the 21st century. And they did. And then, of course, Aero Digital, who I mentioned just before. So we have some great companies. We have over 120 members. Specifically, just over 3,000 technology-related employees of those companies. And there are a number of job opportunities today. I think there's 34 currently on our job board. So there's always something going on within the organization, within our community, and we would love to make you a part of that. I'd like to actually bring up my quasi-boss, I'll say. He's the co-chair of Palm Beach Tech. His name is David Bates. He is with the law firm Gunster, which is one of the largest firms in the state, and he has worked in South Florida with technology companies, software companies, startups for over the last 20 years. And there's really nobody with more expertise in this space than him. So thank you so much for everything you do, and I know you wanted to say a few words.
Yeah, just first off, welcome. And Joe gets up here and talks about what he's created. I think we all owe Joe a big thanks. This was Joe's vision of what West Palm should be, the city should look like, and Joe has built this and pretty much single-handedly and keeps it going. So Joe's jokes about FPL keeping the lights on, but Joe's here to flip the switch every day. So
actually, Tyler's the first one here in the morning, so she flips the switch. And we have my team, Tyler and Stephanie, here today. In addition to Armand, who is somewhere
over there.
Armand over there. So we have a great team here.
Thanks for coming. We're really glad you're here. We're trying to build something great. I got involved when I had a bunch of clients come to talk to me about what's going on here, and some of the companies Joe mentioned are companies I've helped grow. And it's our way to try to get back to what we're doing. So when Joe talks about Chewy being $2 billion, and we had bank rate that wasn't a .com before it started, and that sold for $1.5 billion for the second or third time. We just sold them and a couple of other billion-dollar companies that have come out of here that we've been a part of. And we hope people in this audience are going to be among that group and come back here and look at that space and say that's where we had our first meeting or something.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming tonight.
And thank you, David. And give him a round of applause, guys. And, in short, what we're trying to do here, David kind of hit the nail on the head. We're trying to help companies grow and be here, be present in what we're trying to do. Fun fact, actually, about David, he is perhaps the most accomplished wildlife photographer you will ever meet. He should work for National Geographic, but he likes technology much better, so on a day-to-day. But we'll get into a little bit about some of the companies we're going to be hearing from today. Our next slide. We first got to talk about the space. I forgot, this is where we are. We are at the Palm Beach Tech Space. It is co-working space. Our memberships start at $75 a month. If you're wanting part-time, they go up to $300 for a dedicated desk with a 24/7 access pass. So if you're interested in Palm Beach Tech Space as a co-working opportunity, or maybe you just need a place for some meetings, feel free to come talk to me or somebody from my team after the event. We'd love to talk to you a little bit more about it. And next up, we're going to have Jeremy Lawson. Jeremy is the platforms manager over at Aero Digital, but in his free time, he actually helps us develop the Palm Beach Tech Hackathon. It's going to be on February 23rd this year, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about it. So everyone give Jeremy a round of applause.
Does anybody have any ideas what a hackathon is? Raise your hand if you know what a hackathon is. All right, for those of you who have an idea what a hackathon is, shout out what you think it is. If I have an idea, you might be wrong. You hack? You code? Work on projects? Okay. Those are all accurate things. So the connotation we get is usually like something malicious. Like I'm going to hack into your computer and I'm going to take some information from you. That's not what we do. It's not the purpose of a hackathon. The purpose of a hackathon is a group of people to get together to quickly iterate on a project and make something and be judged against it. So each year, we're running our second hackathon, and we want to give an opportunity to give back to the community. Last hackathon, we benefited the River Center. They came by and presented 3 topics where they are technology hungry, but they don't necessarily have the resources and funds to build that. So they presented to us, and we all got together collectively and built them 3 apps that were judged against, and they're actually using one of their apps now. So this year, we're going to be benefiting the Palm Beach County School District's STEM Council. There's a lot of areas that they need technology, but they just don't have the means to do it now. So, as Joe mentioned, the hackathon is happening February 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I would like to encourage a lot of people to come to it. You don't necessarily need to be a programmer to come here. You don't necessarily need to be an expert programmer to come here. We encourage juniors to show up. We need designers. That was the biggest thing that we didn't have anybody show up last time, was designers. So if you have anything you feel like you can contribute to the team, bring it and come join the part of the bigger community. Thank you.
And a big part of why we're doing this, we want our hackathons to be social good oriented. We want to benefit the community. So there's going to be $4,000 in cash prizes. The winning team will get $2,500, thanks to the generous support of NextEra Energy and Florida Power and Light. And basically, we're going to be building things for the school district. People might think, oh, this is a massive operation. They have to have a lot of technology. Well, the science fair this year was built. Their site was built on a Google site. They have 167 technology employees in one of the largest school districts east of the Mississippi. There's quite a lot of operation. Anything that our community can do and the technology professionals of this area can do, every little bit helps. So that's why we're doing that. Next, we'd like to recognize our sponsors for this evening. First, we have Techstars. They were here a little early. I think they might have had to jump out, but they are an IT recruiting and staffing agency based out of Palm Beach Gardens. If you guys ever have any needs on that, they're a great help to us, so be sure to look at them and reach out to them. Our next sponsor is actually Brightline. So we have Beth here from Brightline, and we're actually going to be raffling off some tickets as well, I believe. But she's going to tell you a little bit about Brightline, what they do, and of course how you can take a ride on the train. So Beth, if you want to come over here so we can get you on the video too. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Beth Meek and I am with Brightline. We are the only privately funded, operated, and maintained express train service in the US. And we recently launched 2 weeks ago our introductory limited service between West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. And we are very excited to bring on Miami in the coming months, hopefully shooting around this summer. I'm wondering, in this group, how many of you travel to Fort Lauderdale for fun or for work? Okay, how many of you travel to Miami for fun or for work? How many of you love that commute? You! Well, then maybe Brightline's not for you. But I just think the majority of people find that their travel experience is completely unproductive, exhausting, and mentally and physically draining. And they just are not their best when they get home or when they get to work in the morning. So Brightline is hoping to change that experience for you so that you can come in with your bright, shining face, whether you're going home or whether you're going to the job. So we right now are offering promotional rates which start at $10 one way to go to Fort Lauderdale from West Palm and then $10 back. We also have a $15 ride, which is for our first class experience. On all of our trains, all of our guests get free Wi-Fi, whether you're in their station or if you're in the coaches. And you also get food, beverage, and alcohol. If you're in first class, the alcohol, food, and beverage is complimentary. It's included with your fare. And if you're in Smart, you're just able to purchase it separately. Does anyone have any questions for me? Since I only have 2 minutes, I don't want to go over.
What's the travel time?
Oh, the travel time. Between West Palm and Fort Lauderdale is approximately 34 minutes, approximately. And then to Miami, we're estimating just a little bit under 30 minutes. So 1 hour to Miami from West Palm.
Did you say you were already open?
We are. We opened 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Yes?
How late do the trains run?
So right now we're in limited service, which they have these flyers. We have our schedule during the week and online as our weekend schedules. We are, again, running extremely limited hours. When we open up to Miami, then we will start at 6 a.m., and we will end at 10 p.m., always at the top of the hour out of West Palm, running every hour.
With the exception of Miami Heat games.
Yes. Yeah. We are partnering with the Heat to be accommodating for their schedules.
Is that every day?
Weekends, we will start an hour and a half later, and we'll run an hour and a half later.
So
Yeah, that's all app driven.
It is. It's all, you buy your tickets online. You actually download an app where you create a profile and you store your credit card so that you can easily purchase food and beverage. You can easily purchase your tickets as you go through the turnstile. That's what you use, a QR type code, which I'm sure you all have a much better name for it, considering you're the tech industry. And that's what you use as your Bright ID to get through the turnstiles and enter into our lounges.
Are there going to be like monthly discounts and things
so you have bulk discounts?
Yes, I work for Brightline for Business, which is our corporate account program. So I'm working with businesses, setting up if they want to do anything for their associates, offering volume discounts, group discounts for some kind of client or employee event, as well as monthly passes, annual passes, and packs of tickets that are transferable to others.
Do you have any idea when Orlando will open up?
Always, can't ever escape that one. Orlando is our phase 2, and we'll be starting construction soon. Shooting for, if everything goes as planned, end of 2020, beginning of 2021.
And that connects right to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the train.
No, yeah. That's the train. No, it'll actually be going. They're building an intermodal center right in the Orlando airport.
Now we have
Is there a Jupiter stop that is in the works, or is that?
Not anticipated. It's a true express train, so
Tri-Rail will do that.
yeah.
If you're in first class, do you have to get off, or can you just keep drinking?
Okay, this is being live streamed, so we're not going to go there.
All right, so we have 2 prize packs to give. There are 5 round trip tickets to 2 lucky winners. And then otherwise, anybody else who is not the winner today does get one of these cards where our promo code is BLFRIEND, where it's a buy one, get one. So you're all winners, really. All right, Jay Moskowitz.
Yeah.
I'll take that prize. All right, and the next one is Dan Condro.
Yay.
I went to take a trip down to Miami on brightline. All right. Thank you.
Everyone, give a round of applause for Beth. And if it helps just to make people feel even more better than her giving away tickets, she sponsored the beer for tonight. So, so our next sponsor, we're going to hear from Jonathan Smith from Chipmunk. I actually visited them last week. Chipmunk is a company 2064. Chipmunk is a company based down in Deerfield Beach now. They got started in Boca Raton. They went through the FAU Tech Runway Accelerator, and now they work with startup companies all over the country and internationally as well. We're actually working on a pretty cool project with Palm Beach Tech for our members and potential members for this coming year. But Jonathan, why don't you tell us a little bit about more what you do? And you're going to stand right here for me.
Yeah, I just gotta bring my.
And then you put your computer right there.
Awesome. Hi everyone, I'm John.
Hey, John.
I work at Chipmunk. We basically help startups with e-commerce fulfillment. So we have software that directly integrates into almost every major e-commerce platform and allows them to process the part of shipping that no one really likes, and that's packing boxes. So we literally pack boxes for your e-commerce clients or maybe for big box retailers. So we're enabling startups to basically have coast-to-coast distribution. We opened up a new facility in LA just recently. And just kind of move to the next slide here and give you kind of an overview of what that looks like. Oh, here we go. So yeah, so basically we have an inventory management software that we've developed. We were originally out of FAU through their Tech Runway program. We won some grants from the state, and we basically have grown from a small room, I would say about this size, to a facility that now has over 100,000 square feet here in South Florida and in Los Angeles. So we work with a variety of companies that have been on Kickstarter, Shark Tank, the Grommet, you name it. There's basically, the biggest problem is once you've kind of launched your product or a form of hardware, you get to a point where, whether you're focusing on developing your front end or the back end or selling or your customer experience or whatever that may be, like packing boxes is literally maybe not the best use of your time. And so most companies, once they hit this growth stage, they start to consider outsourcing their fulfillment needs. And so being that we're a younger company and we have software that's really easy to use and it has a high degree of functionality, it's a really exciting time for our business. So I mean, in terms of supply chain, our software can help you import goods into the United States. We can help you calculate shipments across the world. We integrate with marketplaces, retail chains, different web platforms, Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, you name it. And then once your inventory arrives at our facility, our team of 70 plus employees can start picking and packing orders with our software. So it's really kind of technologically advanced. We've got robots that we just introduced right before Black Friday this year. This is helping us kind of increase our capacity. I'd say in the Christmas time period, we processed close to 250,000 orders. So as you can imagine, there's kind of, we've just got started. We're a young company, and to kind of see these numbers is a really exciting time for us. You guys have any questions for me, please? Yeah, go ahead.
Will you pick up goods to ship out, or will we have to deliver to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we can help you pick up shipments. I've helped numerous companies like who have stuff in their garage. What a lot of companies use, they start in their garage or in their small office space, or you know, it's not necessarily like an Uber where you can press a button and someone will come by and pick up your package. But we can definitely arrange shipments or pickups from your location.
Do you see it becoming something like Uber where you can have people come and just pick the package as you grow?
Yeah, we don't necessarily want to be in that situation there. It gets kind of to a point where that model has gone through with one of our competitors, and it gets to a point where, like, if you're processing maybe 1 or 2 shipments, maybe, you know, fulfillment center is not necessarily what you may be looking for, but this is more of like a business-to-business operation.
So, one more question to ask. Are there minimums for fulfilling orders?
Yeah, so most of the companies we work with are processing roughly 100 orders a month. That's usually when it makes sense for a company to switch over to a fulfillment center. Awesome.
So,
thanks,
thank you very much, Jonathan.
Yeah.
So actually, the founder of Chipmunk, a good man by the name of Dan Bednar, was actually recognized on Forbes 30 Under 30 list this year as well. Here's a multi-million-dollar company, works with companies internationally, and is built right here in our backyard. So very cool opportunity for us to actually work on a project. We're going to actually be working on that over the next couple weeks and hopefully unveiling it to our members shortly. So we want to thank John for helping us out. So our next company actually is going to be Bliss, wherever Dan went to. And Dan's actually going to AirPlay up here as well, so we should be fine just to let him do that. But let me give you a little backstory on Bliss. Dan Condro, perhaps being one of the smartest guys you'll ever meet, went to Princeton.
I think
Yeah?
you're about right.
But he is working on a startup now in the on-demand laundry space. So coming from somebody who barely does laundry once a month, this is perfect for me. So I'm going to let Dan come up here and tell you a little bit about it. And once you stand right here, once you get the AirPlay going, and everyone give Dan a round of applause.
Yeah. I think you all love Joe. How can you not love Joe? Thank you, my friend. All right. So, I guess our company is like so simple. I just decided not to use our deck, but instead just show you guys our app. So we help you guys with your laundry and dry cleaning problem. I guess except for the few exceptional ones of us, the majority of us don't quite enjoy doing laundry, or some of us would even claim we don't have time for laundry or driving down to the cleaners. So we make it so simple for you. We're not quite an on-demand model like Uber, but here you can basically schedule a pickup at your preferred time and location, and it's as simple as that. Go to our app, schedule a pickup, done. And we also you notice when I just opened the app, we've got showing you like the blue sky and the clouds. So really, we call our transport valets Bliss Angels. So really, they'll show up with all their wings and hello to come pick up your laundry with a big smile. So yeah, it's as simple as that. Oops, I guess screensaver. And in appreciation of Palm Beach Tech and Joe, we're giving you guys a special coupon code PBTech20, $20 off your first order.
Thank you.
And simple as that. And just show you guys a little more about our offering for wash, dry, fold. We've got hypoallergenic fresh and clear option. All I have to do is just tap the fresh and clear option, and the same with softener. That's another option. And if you have any special instructions about certain shirts, you can put those in there as well. And same with dry cleaning, you just select all the items that you want to send to us. It's optional. We understand some people don't really want to have to count your dry cleaning items, so you can skip that and just it's just an estimate that is done through the app. But once we get your laundry bag and dry cleaning bag, we itemize everything at our Bliss Village, where we basically confirm your order. So make it as simple as possible for our customers. And it's as simple as that. One more thing, I guess, that is an important part of our, what we bring to our customers is that we're not just about convenience. So the way we work is that we partner with the best local cleaners. So we're literally we talk to the 20 to 30 dry cleaners in Palm Beach County, and we interview their employees, look at their online rating, interview the owners, and basically figure out who which ones are the best to become our partners. So think about it: the best quality, professional cleaning at your fingertip, and our pricing is very competitive because we work out basically in a wholesale partnership agreement with them. So for example, our shirts, for example, start at $2.85 for dry cleaning a shirt, and then for wash, dry, fold, starting at $2 a pound. So Bliss Full Laundry, let us take the load off your hand.
Any questions for Dan and Bliss?
Yes, sir.
What's the turnaround time?
So currently 3 business days.
3?
Yeah.
What was the code again?
PB Tech. Yeah. 20.
If you go on our website, on Monday we put up a blog with Dan's partner in crime, Brian DiPello, his chief of staff, as it were, and it has the code in there as well, and you can learn a little bit more about the company in that blog.
Do you have any eco options?
So yes. So by default, we use eco-friendly detergents.
Okay, great.
And our partners also use, the most eco-friendly dry cleaning, ingredients and methods.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Dan.
All
Give me a round
right.
of applause.
There you go.
Thank you, man. And spread the word too, especially if you know somebody like me that does not do laundry as much as I should. Dan's a great example of somebody who had an idea, built it locally. He's working with Levitas, the digital agency out of Palm Beach Gardens, on the app, and it's really great to see people working together in this industry. So if you ever have an idea, you need to bounce it off people. We have a lot of options of people you can go and talk to in this industry, in this community, that can at least talk you through it and maybe even work with you to help get it done. Next up, we're going to be having Shay Berman from Digital Resource. Yeah, give him a round of applause. Let's start early. All right. So Shay's actually, he had a real trek to get here today. He's right across the street. And he has 30 employees now?
26.
26 exactly. Many of whom he had just hired in the past year. So his company is growing like crazy. And he's going to tell you a little bit about what they do and why they do such a good job doing it. So everyone say
Thank you, Joe. So, first of all, thank you for having me up here today. My name is Shay Berman. I'm the president of Digital Resource. As Joe mentioned, we are right across the street. A little bit about who we are, what we do. We are a basically boutique internet marketing agency that specializes in working with small, medium-sized businesses to assist them in achieving their revenue goals, their business goals, whatever it may be. The one thing that we say is that we will only work with clients that we know we can be successful with. So we're going to analyze your business, talk about your goals, your concerns, and determine whether or not what those goals are, if we can assist you in achieving them. If they will, we've put together a custom internet marketing plan that's going to get you to where you want to be. A little bit about us. I'm originally from Michigan, went to Michigan State University, got a degree in advertising with specialization in internet marketing. My professors were Google executives from the Ann Arbor, Michigan Google campus. My dream was to live in South Florida. Moved down here about 4 years ago. 3.5 years ago, started Digital Resource on my couch. Today we have 26 employees. We're working on closing a deal for a 21,000 square foot building to hire about 200 people over the next 5 to 7 years, 35 of them being this year alone. So the main reason why I want to come up here today, of course, not only to be a resource to any of you who may need marketing assistance with or any projects that you may have, but really we're looking to hire a ton of people. So if you know people who are in the marketing space, the creative space, the digital space at all, when it comes to advertising, web development, we're going to be looking to hire about 35 more just this year. So please keep us in mind. And I want to ask you guys 2 questions. Number 1, who here has a cell phone?
None of us.
Okay. Take out your phone right now, everyone. So I want to teach you guys a little bit more about us, and I can only say so much up here in 2 minutes. So while you have your phone out, go on Facebook, and please like a Digital Resources page. And I can promise you, you'll find a lot of great content about us, of course, but a lot of great things about internet marketing. We post about 30 to 40 blogs a week on our website about internet marketing. There's tons of great information out there for business owners of all kinds. So please, seriously, like our Facebook page. You won't regret it. And if you don't, you're probably going to get our ads anyways. Thank you all.
And, it's kind of funny. Every time I show up at Shay's office, there's somebody new there. And, it's kind of a testament to really what the industry is around here. I mean, he's been able to hire so many great, amazing people. All pretty young, all pretty much in our generation, Chase and I's. But there's a lot of activity going on in South Florida, and there's a lot of growth opportunity. So even if you know somebody from outside the area that's looking for something down here, make sure you mention Shay's company and the other ones out there. Palm Beach Tech has a great job board as well, and Shay's got another job posting on there pretty much every week. So next, we're going to be having our special guest, Rachel Ford, join us up here. Just a little background on how all this came about. Last summer, I went to Atlanta. I went to Techstars. I met Rachel, and they had this amazing, huge office. It was awesome, and there was only 2 people there. Because that was actually just off of their main core year, where they have dozens of people and activity in this very small space. All of these great entrepreneurs all working towards their goals of building successful startups into world-class global entities. So that's what Techstars does. It takes companies, it takes people, it takes ideas from this very small stage and helps them scale globally. And they are a global accelerator. They do work throughout the world, but most importantly, Rachel is here today in West Palm Beach with us. She came all the way from Atlanta this morning. She's met with some great startups here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the wonderful Rachel Ford.
Hello, everybody. As Joe said, my name is Rachel, and I'm from Techstars Atlanta. A little bit about me in terms of background, so you know who you're talking to. My background, I'm born and bred in Georgia. I went to Georgia Tech, and my background is in biomedical engineering and finance. While I was in college, I wound up starting a connected car startup. That company has gone on and is still operating today. Ironically, we interviewed for Techstars at the mobility cohort up in Detroit when I was still with the company. And now here I am sitting on the other side of the table working for Techstars and interviewing those types of founders when we're out and about in places such as West Palm Beach, finding the best and brightest founders for our next class. You might hit the next slide. Cool. So anybody familiar with Techstars and what we do in the audience? We got 1 hand, 2 hands, 3 hands. Excellent. Better than no hands. I think a good way to preface this, and I think what Joe and I had talked about, was to talk a little bit about the terminology behind the different types of startup resources. So we hear oftentimes the terms incubator, we hear accelerator, we hear venture capital. What are they? Where do they fall on the spectrum in terms of the life cycle of an entrepreneur is oftentimes the question that we get. In terms of incubators, we really view that here at Techstars as people that are still in the idea stage of a business. Maybe you have a co-founder, maybe you don't, maybe you haven't left your full-time job to go pursue this idea yet, but you're figuring it out. You're in what we call the customer discovery phase, so you're out interviewing potential customers, what are the needs, defining the value proposition of the business, and really the aim of an incubator is to finally get you to the point where we say you've found product market fit. So you have some sort of idea that you're ready to launch into the market, and you have an idea of who you're going to be selling that product or service to when you get into the market. This often results with what we call an MVP, or a minimum viable product, and that is your first beta product. It could be an app, it could be the first prototype of a hardware, it could be the first iteration of a services business. But whatever it is, it's ready to have somebody touch it, put their eyeballs on it, etc. An accelerator takes products and services that are at that point in time, where you're maybe bringing on more resources to the team, you're looking for more capital to put fuel on the fire, you're looking at resources that are really going to help you scale the business in terms of marketing, sales, etc. And we really take those into Techstars is a good example, but you've definitely heard of 500 Startups, Y Combinator, Microsoft has accelerators. A lot of people are in the accelerator business now. But they take those products and services, and we really work with the entrepreneurs day in and day out and their founding teams to start that journey of what the business service can look like after you get the resources to pour fuel on that fire. And at the end of that, we're looking at, most of our companies are pre-revenue. We don't promise that they will make revenue during the Techstars Accelerator. Even after you graduate, you might not be making money yet. But we are putting you well on the path to defining what that looks like, and hopefully seeing that revenue number increase as you become a graduate of one of our programs. So with that being said, Techstars is the worldwide network that helps entrepreneurs succeed. What does that really mean, and what does it look like when we dive deeper? And I apologize, I'm doing what we tell founders never to do during their pitch, which is to look backwards behind them. But we have 34 accelerator programs across the world, one of which is in Atlanta. That is the closest one to here in Miami and West Palm Beach. We have about 12,000 people in our network, and this is global. This includes mentors. We like to say we're a mentorship-driven accelerator. We have a lot of founders in our network, of course. We're on average graduating about 340 companies across the world per year. And this also includes all of our secondary networks, so the venture capitalists and the angel investors that come through our network and invest in our companies. Once again, the mentors, and of course it includes about 150, 160 full-time Techstars staff that are located across the world to support the founders that come through our network. We also have, I'll talk about Techstars as the global ecosystem. We have 4 main business units, if you don't mind hitting the next slide about Techstars. And we can skip through the next 3, sorry. Don't have a clicker with me. Maybe we'll stop on this one. Go back. So I'll talk about the business units as we get to them on the slides, but one of the main central underpinnings of Techstars is the centralized ethos that we operate under. I hear the Facebook Live in the background.
I'm trying to share it, sorry guys.
No worries, I did the same thing too, and was trying to mute it as quickly as possible. So the main central ethos of Techstars is give first. And if you look at us on Twitter, you will see this hashtag all over the place. You'll also see the power of the network. Really the things that we abide by when we support our founders. So give first is the mentality of which we approach it. Of course, we do invest in the companies on behalf of the accelerator business unit. We also go out into ecosystems and communities that are just developing, ones that are further along, like West Palm Beach, and ones that are really established, maybe the Austins, the Bostons, Seattles of the world, and the New Yorks, LAs, all of that. Give first is how we always approach our founders, so we don't do anything that's going to be harmful to the business. We align ourselves very strongly with the founders. And in the accelerators, we like to view ourselves as staff, as co-founders in your business, because we're going to go to bat for you, we're going to work our butts off for you, and at the end of the day, we're going to be the ones that are pulling 14-hour days with you while you're in the 90-day accelerator program. Cool, so do more faster, you'll see this one as well. So our resources across this Techstars network, whether it's the capital, whether it's the learning and the curriculum, or our mentors, are really there to help you, hashtag, do more faster as an entrepreneur, because we all know that time is the most valuable resource as an entrepreneur, and you can't clone yourself quite yet, unfortunately. Maybe we'll find a startup here in West Palm Beach that does that. But do more faster is really one of those other things that we underline as you get accepted into the Techstars network, and especially into the accelerators as you try to grow your business. So here we go. This is the slide I was trying to get to in my brain earlier, but we have 4 main business units. The first would be our Techstars Startups program. So who came to the Techstars Startup Week or Weekend here in West Palm Beach? Okay, we got some hands. You should definitely come out to the next one, of course. But Techstars enables these events to happen across the world in different communities. And it really, sometimes it can look like a hackathon. In the case of a startup week, it is a series of events throughout the entire week that really shows what is being catalyzed in that ecosystem in terms of resources available to the startups, and just how the community is starting to view tech and tech-enabled business, impact businesses, and service providers that are there to exist and be founding members in the community. So then the next one we have is the Techstars Corporate Innovation Partners. So these look like our corporate partners for our accelerators. It also looks like corporations that sponsor the startup weeks or weekends. Chase is one of the big sponsors as well, so they provide a lot of different resources around that. And then the one that we are here to talk about most in depth tonight is the Techstars Mentorship-Driven Accelerator Business Unit. So that, once again, is the 34 programs that exist across the world. And then we also have the Techstars Venture Capital Fund. We are currently raising our next fund here at Techstars, and that venture capital exists solely for follow-on investments for the accelerator graduates that are coming out of our programs. So while we don't guarantee that follow-on investment for those program graduates, it is there, and they do take a look at anybody coming out of the programs, whether it's right afterwards or way in the future when you need more capital as you start scaling. Cool. So some statistics on our accelerator companies. We have had about 132 exits. This includes our latest and greatest IPO. That was the first IPO that has ever come from an accelerator in general, but it was from Techstars. Go us. And that was SendGrid that happened a couple of months ago. So there is a really, really good video online. I would urge you to watch it, but it just shows the evolution of those founders from starting as a very, very small team into building the business to what it is today as a publicly traded company. We have about 1,200 companies in the portfolio right now, and of course we're adding those at an exponential rate now that we're doing 10 per year per 34 accelerators. Overall, 90% of our startups are still operating, which is crazy because this is like the exact opposite statistic that you see in the startup world, right? Head nods in the back of the room. Normally you see 90% of startups fail within the first year, which is crazy. Why would anybody do that? Why are we here today? It's because we love it. So Techstars really can increase your chances of success in the long run. That being said, our companies have raised about $4 billion in total at a valuation of about $10.5 billion currently. So we're really doing things in the startup community and really showcasing that Techstars has the value to provide to the founders, so why you should apply after tonight. Next one. Cool, so this is just more of a map of where we're located. So of course, very heavily right now in North America, but we do have presence across Europe, Israel, and Tel Aviv, Cape Town. We just opened Australia and Dubai, and we just keep adding new programs. I feel like we announce one every month, so it's super exciting to see. Cool, so this is how the 90-day program is really divided. So it's 3 months, and we do ask that founders that are accepted into Techstars Atlanta move to Atlanta for those 3 months. We don't require that you permanently relocate to our city, although it is awesome, and I'm a little biased. And I will try to recruit you to move there probably. But that being said, the first month is all about mentorship. Once again, mentorship-driven accelerator. We have a 2-week program that we call Mentor Madness. It is organized chaos. It's about 1,000 meetings that happen in 10 days. So you can imagine what the office looks like after that. And so during that time, you're getting a lot of feedback on your business. And these mentors for Atlanta, we have about 150 of them. They are exited and successful entrepreneurs. They are business leaders across the Atlanta corporations. We also have the 3rd largest concentration of Fortune 500s in Atlanta. So if you're B2B, great reason to be there. But these people are the CEO of the Weather Channel or the VP of product at CNN. Those types of people that have deep strategic experience and can help you learn how to sell into B2Bs. We also have really strong subject matter experts. We happen to be really situated right between a bunch of really good talent in Atlanta. So you think the Emorys, the Georgia Techs, the Georgia States, people that are graduating top tech talent that can be retained with the companies that you bring into Atlanta. And so these people are providing feedback to your business, and you're getting what we call mentor whiplash. So should I believe it? Should I not? Should I pivot? Should I not? At the end of the day, it is just that. It's feedback. You are the CEOs and founders, so we let you take what you want to run your business. But at the end of the day, we do ask that you take the constructive criticism well and just listen for that one. After that, we move into month 2, and this is really execution-oriented and heads down. So there is some curriculum, but Techstars is not school. We don't expect you to come to everything, but the more you come to, the more you make of it, the stronger community you build with your classmates and the other founders. And the stuff that we put in front of you in terms of curriculum is not going to be a waste of your time. We promise you guys have much better things to do, like building your businesses. We also understand that you are building a business, so there isn't a lot of the content. It's maybe 2 to 3 really high quality sessions per week on top of what we do elsewhere in the week. Month 3 is really all about financing strategy and getting ready for demo day. So the financing strategy is a lot about term sheets, how to read them, what are founder-friendly terms versus investor-friendly terms, how to negotiate. It's a lot about crafting your pitch and the narrative of your business, how to present it in a way that makes it investable. And then at the end of the day, we do demo day to cap off our Techstars Atlanta program. And this, for us in Atlanta, is held in partnership with Venture Atlanta, which is the largest venture conference in the Southeast. So our event each year draws about 1,200 people from the community. Nobody's making it rain checks, of course, at this, but you are getting a lot of good introductions to investors that are in town for the Venture Atlanta conference from a lot of the top VC firms across the US. Demo day pitches have a tendency to look like TED Talks. They are that good, they are that polished. If you look us up on YouTube for Techstars Atlanta, you'll see some examples of that. I would definitely say it's worth your time if you want to see what the Techstars Atlanta program can really do to transform the business by the time that you come out the other side. And all in all, the 90-day program is just a phenomenal way to accelerate the growth of your business, get some capital to pour the fuel on that fire, to work with really top quality mentors and staff, and to also surround yourself with a wonderful community of founders. And don't forget that once you are in Techstars, you are #Techstars for life is another one you'll see on Twitter. So once you're in the community, you're not leaving, and you're in that community of about 12,000 people for life. So the tribal knowledge of Techstars is really the value of going through this program. Next. Cool, so by the numbers, you guys are more than capable of reading, but just to give you a little bit of it, we are in 16 different countries. We have about $300 million under capital management. We have 50 plus corporate partners, which is mind-blowing, but awesome. So you can imagine that selling into these as a B2B or a B2C becomes that much more easy when we have the relationships already in place to do so with that. Something to highlight there is that FounderCon is our biggest conference each year where founders descend upon whatever poor city we choose to have all these people in there. And they are, once again, relighting that community that they had in their program, but on a global scale. And we also do BizDev Day. So all of these corporate partners, plus about 100 more. You can thank the Amazons of the world. You can thank there's all sorts of different ones. We had a lot of, not just these, but a lot of B2C focused or product focused ones as well. But all of them come to BizDev Day, and it's curated one-on-one meetings. So it's very, very well-constructed time. It's not just meeting for the sake of meeting. It is these people have picked you, you have picked them, they're mutual opt-ins. So the probability of you signing a deal is that much higher. And then, of course, we have about $65 billion in venture capital market cap, And then if you want to look at these, a lot of times we get questions of, okay, well, give me some examples of top Techstars companies and graduates that have come out of your program. So did anybody in here see the last Star Wars movies?
Yes.
Raise your hands. You're out there. I know you are. Don't be scared of it. So BB-8, we all love BB-8. This is a really cool story. So BB-8's parent company is called Sphero. Sphero is a Techstars company. They went through the Techstars program twice. So at first they went through, and they still decided at the end of the day when we launched our Disney Techstars program out in LA that it would be a good fit. So they went out to the Disney Accelerator, and here they are, these two super sharp dudes in robotics. They have a rolling ball. That's about it. What are we going to do with this? It started as a garage door opener of all things. So Pivot is the name of the game. So they're here with this rolling ball, and the president of Disney comes in and says, "Okay, guys, can we meet in this private conference room for a second? Make sure you shut the door." Whips out the drawing of BB-8. Right? Imagine landing a better product market fit here. So he goes, "Can you build this for me? We need something like this for the next Star Wars movie that we're launching." So you guys look at each other and like, hell yes, we could build this. See our rolling ball? So, of course, here we are today, and BB-8 is one of the top-selling toys across the market, not just for kids, but for adult Star Wars fans, myself included. So Sphero is a really good story. Denver, of course, being an IPO. DigitalOcean probably sounds really familiar to a lot of people in this room, and as does Twilio. We talked about that earlier with one of the companies we were talking to. And then for the consumer brands, PillPack and ClassPass. Anybody who uses ClassPass? Yes, I'm ClassPassing in Miami on Friday, so here I am using our own products. So those are the type of brand names that we get when you go through the Techstars programs and like 3 to 5 years down the road, since we're playing such an early game here with the early stage investments. So alumni, of course, we already talked about a lot of these, but you can see from this variety of B2B and B2Cs. We do hardware and software. Revelar, Sphero, both hardware, so we have experience across the board. So all of our mentors, if we don't find a mentor in Atlanta that can help you, we can find somebody from that 12,000 people pool of Techstars Network to be able to help you on your business and very specific needs. Cool, once again, give first, hashtag cool. Techstars Atlanta, we'll keep going. So obviously I am this person on the left. The gentleman on the right is Michael Cohn. He's the managing director at Techstars Atlanta. Michael is one of those exited and successful entrepreneurs that I mentioned. He built a business called Cloud Sherpas, and they exited to Accenture in 2014 for just shy of $500 million. So he knows what he's doing. He's got a tremendous amount of operational experience, and he is able to empathize with a lot of the founders that come through our door, more so than many other professionals you'll find in the investment world. So it just shows you that the Techstars staff has been founders and is here to continue to support founders that come through our network and really closely align not only on the business goals, but on the personal goals and the mental health of founders across the network. So what to expect, we talked about this a little bit already. So once again, post-program, I think just highlighting this, Techstars for life, it's a real thing. People that exit the network still choose to, 1, be Techstars for life, and 2, give first. So people that go through the Techstars programs oftentimes come back as mentors in our communities, oftentimes come back as angel investors, as board members, and it's just this virtuous cycle of job creation and giving back to the network. Cool, so talking about our Techstars Atlanta mentors, we've already touched on this, but it's just super important to keep drilling at home, because once you go through that Mentor Madness program that I talked about, those 2 weeks, it's not like the mentors descend upon you and then they're all gone magically and you're left alone for the rest of the program with just me and Michael and we're just hanging out. They are matched with you. So we get, for each company, 6 to 7 matches with mentors for people that will continue with you through the rest of the program. So these people have been on the phone with founders at 3 o'clock in the morning. These people have full-time jobs and still come in for 4 or 5 hour sessions with our founders. They truly are there to give first, and oftentimes they become mentors because somebody did that for them when they were building their business and they didn't know how to answer the question or to go about marketing or sales or who was going to be the next best hire for their business. And they come back to be that support system for our founders. So we often get this question. It's one of the favorite questions of the audience normally is, what do we look for in companies? Am I a good fit for you at Techstars Atlanta? So what do we look for? The 6 criteria. Team, team, team. Why do we have it 3 times? Was it a typo? No. So team, team, team. At early stages, oftentimes the best indicators of a company's success are great teams. And these teams have a lot of experience together. We don't look for people that just met on like a co-founder dating site that don't know each other, that just like bumped into each other at a WeWork networking thing. It's people oftentimes that have worked together for 5 to 10 years who have really aligned interests, or they were college roommates, something like that. They grew up together. And these people know each other ins and out. They know each other so well that they're not going to be stepping on each other's toes in the business. We look for founders that are complementary of one another in terms of skill sets and personalities as well. Not people that are duplicating efforts in certain areas of the business, because that's not going to really help you get anywhere. We look for founders that are credible, so you have some sort of background that says you're going to excel in the business that you're building, And we look for founders that are authentic. So what is the passion? Why are you building this? Why are you the chosen one on this earth to build this product and run it until the cows come home? And we also look for founders that are coachable. So if you're going to come in and not listen to any of the mentor feedback, why are you even in the program, right? So we want people who are going to be willing and able to accept constructive criticism, not only about the business, but about their leadership to develop them as people and as their companies. So other criteria, of course, market. We want you to be building, ideally, like a nine-figure business in our 10 or 11-figure market. The idea here is dreaming really, really big. We don't want you to just be an incrementally better business. We don't want it to be maybe super niche. We want somebody that's like, no, I'm going to go build that. I'm going to be on Mars in 10 years. Whatever it is, it might sound crazy. We like that at Techstars. Of course, we want a really great idea, something that is new and novel, not, once again, incremental. But I think it's important to say here, it's not just an idea. It has to be that MVP, it has to be the beta, it has to be something that people can see, touch, play with, etc. And progress, there's a very famous blog post called Lines Not Dots. Has anybody read this? No. Okay. So every time we meet with founders during this part of the process, we are a dot on the graph, right? And ideally over time, as we continue meeting with you guys, your progress is a line that is going up and to the right in the positive direction. So that means in terms of traction, are you increasing usage as we meet with you? Are you adding team members? Are you getting further down your product development roadmap? Whatever that progress is, we want to notice it while we're talking to you in the selection phase, and we want to notice it when you're in that 90-day program and we're working with you side by side, day after day. Let's see, what do we look for? I think I already said all of this, but definitely want to take a second to talk about our corporate partner at Techstars Atlanta. So our corporate partner is Cox Enterprises. Is anybody familiar with Cox? Cool.
They are Palm Beach Post.
Yes.
Well, for now. Sale, by the way.
Yes, so they do have the media assets. But Cox is a $28 billion family-owned, so private company. And their reasons for getting in with Techstars were completely altruistic. So they're native to Atlanta, they're headquartered in Atlanta. And they saw, okay, well, Atlanta has all these great resources, and there's been some really good tech or tech-enabled businesses that have come out of Atlanta. Why is it not mentioned or as highly ranked as the Austins, the Bostons, and the Seattles of the world? There's no good reason, right? We have all of the good ingredients to bake these startups. So they approached Techstars Atlanta, and they said, why don't we do a partnership together here in the Atlanta area and just really work to bring a global accelerator network to our backyard here in Atlanta, because they noticed there wasn't one in the entirety of the Southeast at the time. So that was a couple of years ago, and here